than most. Eyes low in the post, ready for whatever, buddy. Trust me, you won't no smoke. Never disrespect my city, this the land of the ghosts. This shit doper than some white girls that just got off the boat. This shit came straight off the boat, straight off the boat. Straight off the boat, 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 straight off the boat.
Yo!
Royal Shepherd, FaceTime video.
Jeremy Battles with the Marching 100 shirt.
I swear I didn't plan this today.
What, to wear that shirt?
Yeah, I was.
Of course not.
I was actually. We had band camp earlier, so I try to give the kids some encouragement.
Yeah.
Show them some things that I done been through.
Oh, half of them wouldn't make it through some of the things that you done been through, sir. But my brother, what's going on?
Chilling, man, chilling, dog.
That's what I tell you.
Trying to maintain.
Yeah, man. So Jeremy, bro, like, I'm glad that you actually called me to do this because, bro, you actually hit me with a curveball with this. Normally we just go on this,
Straight
sports, but you brought in some sports subjects with actually like some different elements to it. So I'm not gonna waste too much time. The first thing that I wanted to get into was the scammers thing that you showed me about on Big 3 Twitter. So before we get too deep into it, I want you to explain like what it is.
All right, so Twitter has the Twitter that I've been a part of is called Big 3 Twitter, and I ain't even like the huge like tweeter, I guess that you would call it, but I ain't a huge tweeter that some of them cats is. And it's one cat, he from Palm Beach. And I mean, I don't know him, even though supposedly he from the same area that I'm from. He ended up going to one of the schools that's around my area, but I don't even really know him like that. So somebody who I'm like really, really cool with, somebody I'm tight with, almost like my brother, he cool with the dude. So just out of nowhere, I just started hearing like, oh, this cat owe a whole bunch of people money. And he's a big, so Big 3 Twitter is the big three schools in
Florida State, Florida, and the University of Miami.
And the University of Miami. He's a huge UM fan, and me being a Florida State fan, I don't know if you see the garnet and gold behind me with this.
I do, but I see the orange and gold orange and green that you got on.
Orange and green is that's heart. That's what my people met.
Yeah.
But the garnet and gold is what I've been rooting for since the 90s. But yeah, so he was a big Miami fan. He had got in good with all the cats down there in Miami. Like everybody loved him. Like he funny tweeter. I don't know. So like I say, like just out of nowhere, it's a bunch of people just start saying like this cat owed them money. So it finally like broke free. Like somebody had mentioned it maybe like 3 weeks ago, and it kind of got swept under the rug. But like I knew a few people who was just like, hey, we finna go get him. Like we finna get this dude. So I'm like, dang, like these cats really is like they serious about their money. And I guess he felt like, okay, well, yeah, so these dudes, they tweet, so they ain't real, I can't say the N-word on it, can I?
You can say whatever you want to say.
Oh, he must have felt like they wasn't real niggas. So, I mean, he took them for their bread, like, he hit them up in their DM and be like, hey, I'm having some issues with my car.
Yeah, with like eviction and stuff, like he was telling people he was homeless.
Like $50, I need a loan, can you help me out till the weekend or next week, and he just never paying back. So one chick, she got handled real good, like, and from my understanding, this is from a whole bunch of people that like that's been giving him like hundreds of dollars, like even a few stacks. Right, this cat on the article I showed you, it said that he owed like $15,000, but they say like it might be more than that.
Well, so, I mean, it's on social media, so you can't really track it unless you go through it then.
I mean, you could track it,
yeah.
But it's like, I heard, like, it's a bunch of people that he done hit up. And, like, being that he just such a big name in Big 3 Twitter, like, cats, like, hey, I guess he going through hard times, and they'll shoot him the money. Like, one chick, she was like, well, he asked her for $1,600. And she was like, well, that sounded fishy, so I just gave him 300. I'm like, nigga, I ain't giving the nigga $3.
I'm trying to. You said you gave him $3.
I said, I'm not giving him $3. I don't even know him like that. And it's like these people don't know him like
At
that.
all. Like, but see, that's part of what's going wrong with our generation, bro, as far as like social media. Like, people are losing like common sense being caught up in Twitter. Why would you give somebody who you've never met over any amount of money?
Bro, I can't explain it. I can't tell you what it is. I can't give you the rundown on it. I can't give you the skinny. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bro.
But yeah, that story kind of like blew me, bro. It threw me for a loop because, for one, when you told me about it, like, I didn't really understand. And then you sent me the link to the story, and I was like, people are giving this man real money.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about changing my life around and going on Twitter and people DMs.
Nigga, I want to scam some people too. Like, go ahead and pay my rent for me. Go ahead and pay my mortgage for me. You feel me? Like,
I'm about to say, you ain't got rent no more, brother. You own that what you in.
Let me pay this car note off right quick. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way.
You got a whole new definition of sliding in people DMs, bro.
Am I gonna sit here and be like, hey, bro, I'm gonna go ahead and give this man $500 because he say he down on his luck.
I'm down on my luck.
Apparently, these people got cash though.
To burn, like.
Hey man, my name's Germ. I'm kind of between jobs right now, and you know I ain't been able to pay mortgage, so I need you to like shoot me like $2,000. Can you do that?
No, that sounds crazy. But here's 500.
Cool.
Thanks. You made a difference today.
Run it.
Hit by 20, 30 of them, boy. You got vacation money.
Now, let's go ahead and get to that. So, the money that he owed, people was like, hey, this nigga owe me money. His girlfriend's birthday was just like, maybe like 2-3 weeks ago. So niggas was like, bro, he on vacation. How this nigga get the money to go on vacation? Nigga, that's your money. So,
thanks for them tickets.
Right. Tickets, hotel, nigga, everything. All expense paid. Nigga.
On y'all.
Like, bro, if this nigga ain't had no job and you know he ain't got no job, where he getting this money from? He got to be getting it from somewhere.
For y'all to go on this luxurious vacation.
Bro, they were gone for a minute, too. I don't think it was just like 1 or 2 days.
They had a cruise or something.
I think they were hanging. So
good
like,
time.
man, like, you can't do that to people, dog. Like,
that story's crazy,
I
man.
wouldn't feel right doing that to people, but apparently he was up here. I think he went to Florida State. Maybe like when we was in school. So
the criminals strike again.
Huh?
The criminals strike again.
Cut it out.
But no.
I'm a Florida State football fan. Let's get that right.
Right. I like their athletics programs.
I ain't big on the school, but no, the football team. I'm not even a college basketball fan. I don't even like college basketball, bro.
Me neither.
I'm a football team when in the 90s when the football team was in at least one of the BCS bowls, or they was in the national championship almost every year. Oh. That's the team that I like.
Peter Ward,
bruh,
Terrell Buckley, them names.
When Bobby had them boys rolling.
Mm-hmm. But I'm glad that you wore that shirt, Jerm, because that's exactly how we met. Jerm's my freshman brother in the Marching 100, people from 06 know this, but maybe people outside of it who've seen us recently don't know this. But we weren't the best of friends.
Yeah. Hands like crazy.
Yeah.
From Palm Beach. What's up?
Yeah. So, but
we
that
turned out to be great friends.
Exactly.
Crazy.
One of my favorite freshman brothers that I have, bro. But the reason that I like that segue is because one of the topics that you also brought up is that the March 100 now has its first female drum major.
Yes, sir.
Ever.
Yeah.
Bro, that is big, bro.
That is.
That's big, bro. That's big.
And I mean, it's some controversy behind it because you got some older dudes that's kind of like, oh, it's messing up tradition. And then you got some cats that's like around our age that's like, oh, she only got it because she a girl. And then you got some cats that's like some of the newer members, and it's a whole bunch of different reasons why they say that she made it. One being that they say that because she's a Delta. And I mean, listen, I think it's dope. I think it's something that was inevitable. I think it's something that should have happened way sooner than 2018. Because there's been some chicks that's like, done went out there, they done tried out for drum major, and they've actually been like good, like better than some cats that actually was doing it before. So I mean, for them to just finally start picking a female drum major is kind of backward.
I don't think it's backwards. I think it's a lot of times it takes us a lot longer to catch up to the times, especially older entities. Like the March 100's been here for a while, so since 1946. So it took a while it may have taken a while for the band itself to become as progressive as society has become, and I think that's what people thought the mismatch was happening. But I'm pretty ecstatic that we have a woman drum major, because you see a lot of other HBCUs with women drum majors, and being like, we're supposed to be the leaders in every category when it comes to marching band. We're the standard. So you know what I mean? So my younger brother, he recently made a horrible life decision by enrolling in Miles College, and he's marching in their band, and they have a woman drum major. Yeah.
Run that back.
Okay, so my youngest brother.
How did that happen?
He went to high school in Augusta, Georgia. They SWAT people.
Say no more. Let's get back to the 100. We don't even need to talk about Miles, because they ain't even that important for us to even talk about it. But yeah, I mean, dog, like, it's something that's cool, bro. Like, you got it now. This gives women just, that's for the future, when it's time for them to feel like they need to go ahead and try out. Now that they know that bar has already been set and that glass ceiling has been broken. Of
course, bro. Of course. So because you got a lot of girls who we marched in the band with. They were awesome drum majors in high school. And then, even when we came up 06. That's not even that long ago, and they didn't have that same opportunity. For example, our freshman sister, Tiana Portier, was a drum major in high school. A dynamic one, because we went to band camp together.
Right.
And then, they don't have that same opportunity when they get there. And some of that is, what I mean, it was sad, but I'm really excited about her getting.
Now, one thing I can say is that 6 foot rule, I felt was necessary. One thing, because with the band, like, dog, you got to think about it, dog. The Shakos on the band is so tall, like, bro, you get somebody that's out there that's 5'4", that ain't going to work.
Yeah, 5'4" might not have worked, but 5'7", 5'8".
But see, Corey, she like 6 foot, though.
Yeah, she's long.
She's a big girl.
She's long.
Like, and then like.
But you can't tell me somebody like our freshman brother Rashad Horn couldn't have been a drum major. He ain't 6 foot.
Rashad like what, 5'6"?
Right, 5'6", 5'7". We about the same height. Even despite whatever the criteria is for drum major, but please believe me, I think Rashad embodied it.
Oh no. He's a great leader.
Yeah.
He can do all that stuff, but it's just, at the end of the day, if I'm a percussionist and I need to look in the front of the field and I can't see somebody.
You can't see the mace.
Bro, we was like 400 people. Think about it, bro. 400 people.
And we in the back.
We way in the back.
Especially in concert band.
Okay, you got somebody that's 5'6", 5'7", that's up there with a mace. Yeah, they up there with a mace, but still, like, you can barely see. We can barely see the 6 foot people, dog. Like, the people who used to be on the 50, dog, used to be the cats that was like 6'5", 6'6". So I mean, I'm
watching Doc anyway. I ain't really worried about. I'm watching Doc. I ain't worried about the.
Exactly. So I mean, dog. I think, like I said, it's something that was needed.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan.
I can say now, one thing I can say, she need to go out there and show her behind. Because if she don't, that's gonna kind of mess it up for women in the future. Because then it's gonna be like, well, remember that last chick that we let be the drum major, and this, and this, and this.
That's a tough argument to counter because being the trailblazer is always tough in that regard.
But you still like, bro. For instance, and this might not be the same, but you still okay. Jackie Robinson.
Yeah.
First black person that was in the Major League Baseball. He wasn't the first person to play professionally, but first black person in Major League Baseball. Mm-hmm. When he came in, it was already like looking at, okay, is he going to be good? They already knew black players was good, but Jackie Robinson wasn't even the best black player that was out at the time.
I'm glad you made that point because I was going to make it.
And the thing was, he had to have been good in order for him to go ahead and, like you say, he was a trailblazer. He had to pave that way for other black players to come in because if he didn't do what he was supposed to do, then they would have been like, oh, just black players ain't that good. And like I said, he wasn't the best player in the Negro Leagues at the time.
No.
So for him to have been chosen to go ahead and represent us in that platform, it was something big. So he knew what was on his shoulders. So hopefully she kind of knows what's on her shoulders for women. And I'm all for women's rights. I'm all for equal opportunity for women to do whatever they want to do.
Absolutely.
But like I said, she gotta show them. She gotta show everybody in the world like this is why women need to be in this position. Because if not, then people are gonna start doubting them in the aspect of being a drum major at FAMU.
I get it, because she does have that role to do. She has to validate. Validate being selected for that position. Just like Jackie Robinson had to validate his skills for being in there by being good enough to play. But she also has to, the way she conducts herself in band practice is also going to be big. The way she leads, the way she conducts, because you know how drum majors are. Like, they're different. They're different from other band members. You have to be. You're at the forefront of the band. So the way she conducts herself in multiple atmospheres is going to be very important. But I'm happy for that. Let's get to our final topic because this is the one that kind of it's the most popular one right now, I guess, amongst general sports fans.
And the NFL started tonight too.
Yeah. Oh yes, sir. That's why we're gonna hurry up and get off this call. I got to get prepared. I got to have the.
I'm grilling something right now.
Oh.
Not right now, but right
now. But yeah, okay. So we talk. You brought up the Jerry Jones thing and the whole policy that he's talking about. He has about players have to have their toe on the line for the anthem. There have been several things that come out. Richard Sherman said something about it. Said that he has a plantation mentality as far as all this. Just give me your general thoughts on the entire situation.
All right, now, of course, everybody in America has seen how black people have been treated just by law enforcement. Period. Just by the any other race. Period. Not even just law enforcement. And this ain't something that's new. This is just something that has become a phenomenon because you have so many videotapes of it now.
Oh yeah, social media has ruined secrecy.
So I mean, like back in the day, like a cop kill a black person, it'll show up in the newspaper, and then it's like, okay, it is what it is. Now you starting to see cops killing black people on camera because this little thing right here,
it changed the game.
All you gotta do. It's a flick of a thumb. That's it, and you got your camera right there. So Colin Kaepernick came out and said, "I'm not standing for I'm not standing for a national anthem of a country that doesn't represent black people well." And I mean, a lot of the stuff that was written for the country to show patriotism was written when our ancestors were still slaves. Star Spangled Banner, America the Beautiful, the Pledge of Allegiance, all that. And I mean, I've read
even when the flag was knitted.
Huh?
Even when the flag was knitted.
Yeah, even when the flag was knitted, like, dude, like, I mean, and then you even got to think, bro, slavery ain't even, 200 years old yet?
Oh, since it's been over?
since it's been done.
The Constitution was written.
Let's look at this too. The civil rights movement haven't even been 100 years in our past. So a lot of that stuff
Absolutely
our
not.
parents was dealing with. My mama and daddy, they didn't have a integrated high school until they was. I mean, they didn't have an integrated school until they was in high school. That was in the 70s, bro. Civil rights, all that stuff, all the Civil Rights Act and all that stuff, that was in the 50s and 60s when all that stuff was signed. 55 was the Brown Boys versus Board of Education, wasn't it?
55?
Why did it take almost 20 years for them to actually integrate the schools that they was in? So, I mean, when I look at that kind of stuff, when I look at everything that's going on now, it's not necessarily that racism is growing again. That junk ain't never died, bro. It's been the same, if not worse.
I told, I think it was Tony who I was talking to. I said, well, racism went from being covert to being overt again when 45 took over. Yeah. Like the minute he took over, there was a certain level of emboldenedness because they're like for the country to have such a divisive president, naturally, racial tensions are going to be amplified. Right. Like and there's no cause for it because like you could argue that even with cell phones and stuff like that and the advancement in technology and social media under Obama, bro, like it was still like it felt like the country had taken steps forward. It just felt like that, you know what I mean?
It felt like it,
but I mean, of course, we all knew the truth. Underneath there was still the ugly truth about America. But then when 45 came back, it was just like,
listen. All I can say is that elephant in the room, it's on his trunk now. That's all I'm hearing now. But I mean, Colin Kaepernick, like I said, he said he wasn't gonna stand for it. He did. He took a knee. He had people that was like, okay, I'm gonna take my knee with you, bro. Like I'm feeling that because that's something that needs to be talked about. That's something that's important to us. You start getting the backlash from some of the white fans, like, oh, you need to respect the police and blah 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 blah, and this. Okay, that's cool for y'all, but for us, I don't know about you, bro, but whenever I get pulled over, bro, I get butterflies, and it's not even like I'm scared. It's just like. I'm not even scared for myself, bro. I'm scared for what's going to happen with my family. Like, what's going to happen with my brothers and sisters and my mom and my dad. How is that going to work? Like, if I get shot because they feel like, because I'm licensed to carry. So, if I say, okay, officer, I do have a gun on me. If they ask me if I have a gun, because I ain't going to just tell them flat out, but if they say, oh, well, Mr. Battles, you got a gun? And I say, yeah. And then they say, well, let me see your license and registration. I'm going to say, well, please take me out the car and handcuff me so that you can do this because I don't want you to say, oh, he reaching for a gun. And the next thing you know, you got me on the front page of the Tallahassee Democrat saying, fam, you graduate Jamie Bellows has been shot dead by police because he had a gun. And it's like, bro, like.
And that's a real life fear, bro. For all of us, for every black man, like it's like for people to try and act like that's for black people. I'm sorry, you're correct. For black people, for people to act like you know what I mean, like this is just made up out of thin air. Like it's impossible for you to say that now because of what we've seen. But part of the thing that's been conflicting about this for me is that how many people are becoming desensitized to this issue because of how much we see it. Because every time you can open up your phone and scroll up your timeline and search for all the number of African American people that have been killed by police to the point where it's just like you can see a new one and it'd be like another one. And then, like how many names have we forgotten?
How many names have we never even known?
And that's the scariest thing about it, bro. That's the scariest thing about the entire situation. And for these NFL owners not to even be willing to acknowledge that these players,
Do you realize that Trayvon Martin didn't come into the forefront until like 2-3 weeks after the situation had happened?
Bro, listen, bro.
Did you not know that?
Bro, listen, and just think about it now, bro. Think about the narrative now. It's not even about Trayvon Martin anymore. It's about, like, when people talk about the situation, they talk about how much they hate Zimmerman. They don't think about, like, the memory of Trayvon Martin, man. Like, this was a child. Like, that
was a kid, bro.
It's so many children, it's so many men, it's so many people who were well within their rights to do whatever they were doing that have been gunned down, and It's like that's what all the players are trying to bring light to. They have a platform bigger than any of us. You know what I mean? Like these are NFL players, and the owners are dismissing this like by saying that they're being disrespectful of a flag, and it's completely off base, bro.
And it's like, bro, like I look at it like this: the ones who are using their platform to go ahead and say, "Hey, this is what's going on in America. We would like for y'all to actually try to do something about it, or we should do something about it, or something. At least let's have a talk about it so that we can try to come to grips about it." Now, you got some white folks that will actually be like, okay, I understand. And,
it's more than some, bro. It's a lot. I have a lot of good friends who understand our plight, like almost as well as we do. I mean, they can never understand it the whole way.
I don't necessarily say they understand it, but I think they're acknowledging it now. Because
I can agree with that. I think that's a better way of putting it.
Because understanding it would mean that when they get pulled over, they will have that same fear as well.
They can never understand that.
Acknowledging it says that, okay, when my black friend gets pulled over, I understand that. Well, I see that he's a certain type of way, or he has to act a certain type of way whenever he.
In order to appear non-threatening, I don't have to do anything.
Right, because you got white folks that can just yell at the police like it ain't nothing.
I've seen it.
Bruh, if I yell at the police, what they gonna do to me? And then, fam, you graduate, Jeremy Battles, that's gonna be my police. I'm telling you, bro, the only thing I want to be in the newspaper for is for making money and making a difference in kids' lives.
Absolutely. But Jerm, you know what though, bro? And when you said that, bro, I think about me and you as people individually. We have these mouth things that won't wait for nobody. Oh, no. So we have to do a whole lot more work than the average African American just to restrain our natural. I'm gonna say something.
Right.
I'm gonna say something.
Right.
And it's gonna be rude.
Right. It's wild, but I mean, I personally think with the Jerry Jones situation, with Dak, he played it wrong. But I get it.
It's tough. It's tough to say Dak played that wrong, bro. Dak ain't got his money yet.
Dak, I get it. But okay, for instance, if all the Cowboys said, okay, well, if we gotta stand up, then none of us gonna stand up.
Nah.
Bro, look at this. Look at this. Well, he gonna get rid of the whole team?
Who, Jerry Jones?
Huh?
Jerry Jones?
Yeah.
Ain't no telling.
But see, I look at it like this too. If he does get rid of them, then you got people that's gonna that will pick some people up now.
Of course, like a lot of these players could get other jobs, but here's the thing. Here's why I say Dak wasn't completely in the wrong. Dak is the franchise quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, which means something completely different than it means to be a franchise quarterback anywhere else. I'm pretty sure that's not truly how he feels, but Dak hasn't gotten his money. Dak hasn't completely proven himself as a quarterback. Right now, he's trying to keep his head down, keep his money, trying to get enough money to feed his family. Here's the part that really irks me about this Jerry Jones situation. Michael Irvin used to do cocaine in the locker room. Greg Hardy routinely beat women. He routinely beats them.
Yeah.
So it's okay for you to have women beaters and drug addicts in your locker room, but you step on that. You kneel for that national anthem. You've gone too far.
Yeah.
You kneel in to protest something that you're not really protesting, but what we say you protesting, you've gone too far. That's the only problem that I have with it.
Okay, so all right, let's flip it. Let's go to my favorite team, which is the New York Jets.
Yikes.
And what their owner said. Don't you look like that when I say that.
Yikes. Yeah. I mean, Jesus, Jim.
But look at it like this. When the NFL said, okay, if anybody kneels or anybody protests in any kind of way, we're going to go ahead and we're going to fine them. The Jets stepped up and said,
oh, yeah, we're going to pay any fines.
We're going to go ahead and pay their fine.
If they want to protest.
That's a stand-up, like, bro. And it's even crazier because the person who owns the Jets is like friends with Trump.
Yeah, it was one of the co-owners who said he was going to do it. But you can't expect, huh?
It's Woody Johnson's brother.
So you can't.
Woody Johnson's brother is over the team.
Yeah, but you can't expect everybody to react to that. Like a lot of people look at the NFL or these teams, they look at them as a business. Like this protest thing is gonna lose me sponsorships. It's gonna lose me dollars. And at the end of the day, my bottom line is what's most important, not the way your social injustices are making you feel.
That's fine.
Like, and that's the reality of the situation that players have to understand. And it's like, if it means that much to you, then do what you're doing. Colin Kaepernick will forever have my respect because he did something that most of these men aren't willing to do. He risked his job. He lost his job for his cause. He lost his job for his cause, bro. Like, and that's gonna be the underrated thing about it, bro. He gave up his career because he believed in this. Eric Reed, his teammate who was kneeling with him, who still can't get a job but is good enough to play in this league, he's costing himself a career because they believe in that. And that's admirable, bro. And it makes me want to be better, bro.
Yeah. I get it from what you're saying with that, but still, like, I think he could have used it. I think he could have used it to say, okay, I do stand with the cause, but we don't necessarily have to kneel. Let's find another way to deal with it.
I get it. He could have attacked it with a different word as opposed to saying, "The hell with what y'all got going on? I'm standing on this line."
Go ahead and stand up like boss, like Master say. You ain't standing, boss. He ain't standing.
Tell him about the gun line, boss.
Tell him about the stand line, boss. So I mean, yeah, dog. Like that's just how I feel about that. Dog, like it's something that definitely needs to get talked about, man. Like I'm a teacher, dog, so I'm seeing this, and I got kids who are they're afraid to respect authority because they're afraid of how their peers will look at them if they respect authority. So it's like if you go ahead and send them out in the real world, they have to respect a police officer. Now, I'm not saying I hate all police because you do have some decent police officers out there.
We got family who is police, bro. Shout out to the freshman brother Tori.
Oh yeah, Tori.
We got family who police officers, man.
But and then I got family who just they got into the.
My cousin Earl, he a police officer. My dog Christian Exantus, who used to be in 60724, he an officer. Like we got family who police.
So dog, like bro, like with that whole situation, you just gotta make sure when you do deal with cops, just deal with them, respect them. I think a lot of times if you respect them, they respect you.
Absolutely.
Now, if you're trying to get flip out the mouth,
trying to prove that you harder than the police,
that ain't gonna do nothing. Because even if you're going through a situation where you feel like you are in the right, man, right now it's you and him, and he got the gun, and he has the right to use that gun under law. So I mean, just take that, go ahead and get your day in court.
Absolutely, bro. And I think that's the perfect bow to put on this conversation, bro, because we both got to go and do other things. So at the end of these shows, bro, I give people a chance to shout out whatever they want, bro. I think I know where you going, but I'm going somewhere too, but I'm gonna let you take off, bro.
Hey man, shout out my dog Royal, man. That's my brother for life, man.
Yes, sir.
Shout out Backpack Help Tutoring, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Y'all hit backpackhelp.com. Shout out to the Marching 100. Shout out FAMU.
Hub 100.
Hey, we went in the MEAC this
Shout out 06.
Hey, shout out 06.
Hub a lockdown.
Shout out all that, man. Shout out God, first and foremost.
Absolutely.
Man. Like, without him, man, of course we wouldn't be here, dog. We wouldn't be able to do what we're doing. We wouldn't be able to have the opportunities that we have, man.
Yes, sir.
Shout out both my brothers, Jason and Johnny. Shout out my sister Tanya. Shout out their kids. Shout out my mama, my daddy. Shout out
boy, you ain't winning no Grammy.
Man, you said shout out.
That boy want to get the whole list. We'll bring you back so you can catch anybody that you missed, bro. But yeah, I want to double down on what you said, and I'm gonna shout out Backpack Help, bro. by any means, if you have a child in the Tallahassee area that needs help in any subject area, you have a professional educator that's trying to give back more of his time than he already gives to these kids. He helps with the band. He's a teacher, and he's doing this on the side, bro. Like, you gotta support what needs to be supported, and that's straight up, bro. So Jaron, bro, I appreciate you for coming on here and expanding the folks' mind on this show. Talked about something completely different. We gotta do this again, freshman, bro.
It's love, bro. It's love, man.
Always, bro. I'll hit you up later, bro.
All right, bro.
Higher than most, eyes low in the post. Ready for whatever, buddy, trust me.